So I've rigged up a vacuum system on my small block here, as you can see, running from that valve cover 10 AN vacuum hose, which is 5/8 inside diameter. I've teed it off. It runs down here to an electric Star Machine 12-volt vacuum pump, because I did not have the room to put a manual vacuum pump on the motor. So I've rigged up, and you'll see here there was a little tab where they had a vacuum pump here, a two-stage, or what they call them, the secondary vacuum pumps for standard everyday cars. Well, that went out and it was not vacuuming very much anyway. So you'll see later, I'll come over here, I'll hook this into my baffle tank, and you'll see there, I put a little screen on there because it's got a little opening, and I didn't want anything to go down in that hole because that's part of the mechanical veins are in that area there. So again, and then I put a little bit of like 1/4 inch starboard just in between the washers and in between the pump itself and this aluminum plate that I built for it, just to kind of dampen the vibration of it. I know once the engine's running, you don't feel anything but engine vibration anyway, but I thought it would just help lessen the vibration on the pump a little bit. And again, now if you'll notice here, I've had to run. It's got a 70 amp relay in it, and it kept in the beginning kept blowing 40 amp breakers, and and I had a 40 amp relay in it. I've now put a Bosch 70 amp and I went ahead and ran number 6 wire, because it draws so much, but the pump doesn't really get hot. But as you'll see here, I've run that inside here in the car, and I ran it inside here to the Bosch relay here. And of course, it's just set up with a trigger switch. I only turn the vacuum pump on right when I'm coming in the staging lanes, and just run it during the race. And then when it's over with, I shut it down. So I've wired that in, as you can see, to a Bosch 70 amp. I got it marked vacuum here, but that's my 70 amp relay. And then it runs to a 70 amp breaker right here. If we can see that good. And here you'll see here, I just see it throws a switch there, and that's 70 amp breaker, then runs back to the power source. So from the power source to the breaker to the relay, and then gets triggered, and of course ground gets triggered through the trigger switch over here. I got a power switch, I'll show you. And then we'll come around here and I'll show you. There's the vacuum switch, which was in the past always left on. So when the ignition came on, the vacuum pump started running. But in this situation, Star Machine told me not to run the vacuum pump the entire time the engine's running, just during your race time, is to prevent it from any kind of overheating or so forth. Again, I just got a switch, turn it on there. There I have my vacuum gauge. I'll show you in a little bit when we crank it up what kind of vacuum. I know earlier I ran it and it was pulling 10 was reading 10 on the vacuum gauge while the motor was running. All right, well, I'll let you know how it turns out